Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to this special event. It's very nice to see you all here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Salam Yatuma. I'm a physician here at Sharp Grossman Hospital. And I'd like to start the night by letting you know that we are gathering to celebrate the launching of MERCI, California, which stands for Medical Emergency Relief for Christians in Iraq. I would like first to welcome His Excellency Bishop Sarhid Jammu to start this event with a prayer. Satan.
Lord, thank you for installing in so many hearts the love for those who are in need. Doctors were called to heal the wounds of so many people in their bodies. You are the doctor of our souls. You made body and souls united in each one of us. That's why your hand, Lord, is needed every time a doctor places his or her hands on some sick person. Lord, extend your hand now to this body of doctors, trying to expand your mercy to people so much in need, to wounds so much deep, into souls, into society, and in the bodies. Lord, give us to join hands so that you can help each other heal the wounds of so many people. This group is looking for it, is striving for it, is attempting it, is doing their best to reach to it. Lord, I ask you to give them your blessing. I beg you, Lord, give them your blessing, because your people is so much in need of their endeavor and their activism. Bless their hands, O Lord, so that they can heal so many wounds. And let us join our hands together so that your healing, O Lord, is far-reaching and prompt. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, forever. Amen.
Thank you so much, Sayyidina. You can't ask for a better way to start this event. MERCI is a medical mission. Its goal is to provide medical care to Iraqi Christians and also to other minorities that were displaced and persecuted by ISIS. MERCI was established in Michigan by healthcare professionals with the support of Chaldean community. They are currently supporting 9 clinics in northern Iraq by providing healthcare, medications, and medical supplies in the areas of displacement in Kurdistan and the Nineveh Plain. MERCI California is supported by the Knights of Columbus and also by the Hope for Iraqi Christians. I encourage you to visit our website, mercy.helpiraq.org, to get to know more about the great work that these volunteers have done. Tonight is a great opportunity for our community to help our people who have lost everything. But I also think it's a great opportunity to raise awareness and get to know more about their living condition and medical needs. Because honestly, regardless of how much we watch mainstream media or social media, we all know that we are not getting the whole picture. That's why tonight, we are honored to have two distinguished speakers, both medical doctors and with first-hand experience regarding the medical condition of the displaced Iraqi Christians. We would like to thank them for their continued efforts and dedication to this great cause. Our first speaker is Dr. Bassam Juwaida. He graduated from the University of Basra College of Medicine in Iraq. Like most of us, had a long and difficult way to come to the United States. He is currently a pediatric anesthesiologist at the Children's Hospital of Michigan, Detroit Medical Center. He is one of the founders of MERCI in Michigan. Please join me to welcome Dr. Bassam Juwaida.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Salamtuma. Thank you for all the effort for the MERCI Dr. Dafar and Dr. John for the invitation. And I'm so honored to be in here with all of you coming here for support our people who are in Iraq. Dr. Nituma, he briefly said something about MERCI, which is Medical Emergency Relief for Christian Iraqi. This is the organization. We treat Iraqi and all other displaced people. After ISIS took over Mosul and a lot of displaced people from there, and also the displaced Christians from all our the Christian cities and villages in north of Iraq. They have no place to go but all to Kurdish areas, especially in Erbil and Kawa. And right away it's an emergency, and it's an act on it right away for our diocese to help them with the food and all other organizations all over the world, shelters. But the need came in for the treatment and take care of the health. One day, I have a call from my colleague, which is, he's the president of MERCI Group, he's one of the founder, Dr. Mansour, which is, he's one of the founder beside Dr. Nazib Achuri, his dentist, and me. So he called me and told me, Bassam, I didn't know what to tell you. It's been an hour and a half, and when the bishop called me and he said, we need to help. There's a lot of people who need to help with chronic disease. And I told him, what do you need to help for? So I told him, well, I'm busy and I cannot do that. He said, no, you have to. He said, well, if I have to do it. And he knows me by then, because he told me, Bassam, whenever it comes to a refugee and help people, I know you're right there. I'm a former prisoner of war, so I stayed 2 years in prison in Saudi Arabia, and I seek political asylum to come in here. And thank God I'm proud to be an American now, but still my heart with my people there, and I know how to help these people with the help of you. So then we reach to our friends back in Iraq and to see who we can help. Through our diocese, with the help of our bishops here and Bishop Francis and Bishop Warden, we called and they put us in contact with a few people there that they are helping the our Christian displaced people. They started having small clinic in a tent, in a hall with 2 blankets to the side, covering the examination room. And we got into contact with a few actually they were resident, doctor resident, and some student which they are helping. And we started supporting them. Then they told us there's thousands and thousands of people in Arbil. There is also the same amount in Ithog. So we reached to another friends there in Ithog to ask them, their doctors, to ask them to help us. And fortunately, we got in contact with, they named a doctor that is helping in the church, which the priest gave him his room to help the people there, who was Dr. Ayad. Then I called Dr. Ayad, and we got connected to so many doctors there. So the background for our MERCI is a healthcare clinics that have been established, as I said, since ISIS took over there. And we started with us as a group. Once that phone call from Dr. Geppi, we gathered all our doctors there to help, and we made a few phone calls to Iraq, and we made a committee. And this committee, based on calling for other people to help for donation and keep supporting our people in Iraq. The purpose of that for MERCI is to get this clinic going by getting medication for those people who are left their places and they don't have money to buy it, especially those for chronic disease who have hypertension, diabetes. Some of them, they have the money, they kept buying it, then they've been out of money, so they need the support, and they have no one. And they are not in 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. They are in 10,000s or more than that. We do this, our MERCI have goals of saving life through emergency medical need and treatment for chronic illnesses, provide healthcare services and medical supplies to the displaced and suffering Iraqi through the clinic established in the area of displacement. How we do this? We start doing it with fundraise, reaching out and spreading the word among the community and others. The money, how we get the money? The money is collected and transferred from the Chaldean diocese to the diocese there. And we're still in control of this money. It's the money from the donating people that come to the diocese. It's all being tax write-off. And all the donation goes, all the proceeds, all the donation goes directly to Iraq. And is separate from any other donation as for food or anything. This is only specifically for medication. And to serve our Chaldean people, all the Christian people in north of Iraq. So this reaches to the certain cities there, and we divide it based on how many patients are being seen in each clinic. From us, when we made a committee in here, at the same time we made a committee in each of these clinics. Most of these committees are having pharmacist or a doctor or a dentist with a priest or a nun. And they are being in charge of the money that received there. And they receive the exact money that we send it to the diocese. They by themselves, they have the connection to have some discounted pharmaceutical companies to get the medication from them for as much as they can get discount, to buy more medication, to serve more patients in there. Based on that, we receive all this proceed that goes there. We have transparency that comes back with all the receipts that they buy this medication. Specifically, they buy the medication for the people who needs it. And mostly now they have the figures of how many patients they have, which is chronic disease patient, and how much medication. This process has been going over 1.5 years since September of 2014. And we started with a few clinics and keep growing. The transparency, as I said, is the receipts. Besides, they are all documentation of the patient's name, age, and all those diagnoses and treatment. Besides the phone numbers that they have in there, and you feel free, and we feel free to call anybody there and ask them for medication. Actually, we have sent some people from different city to the other city to ask for medication and treatment, and they received it. And we have a lot of witnesses there from Dr. Rayad also, that because there is, like, sometimes have problem of they don't treat me or anything, but there is witnesses that everybody been treated there and received the right treatment. Also, we are also having a mission trip that we go there and we go visit this clinic separately and we go into it, communicate with the patient, call the patient who received this treatment and keep receiving this treatment, and also communicate with the doctor and see what their need and what any problem can be solved there. By the way, we are thanking all those the donors who are in Michigan, and also thanking the people who are working there in Iraq, because all those health professionals, including dentists, doctors, and pharmacists who are working in these clinics in Iraq, they are all volunteers. Over 212 employees, I call them, which is they are volunteers now. About 25 of them, they are specialists, and they are paid by the government to go for this clinic for once a week or twice a month to help with these people. But the rest, about 170, 180 are volunteers and doing this work for 1.5 years. We have also documentation of these doctors, that some of them, they left Iraq, some of them left, and some of them, they joined, another volunteer joined. These are we started with the clinics in 2014. Marty Shkoni in Ankawa, St. Joseph in Ankawa. Dhok, Slimaniya, Al-Wash, Zakho, Kirkuk, Shaklawa, and Nur. Nur is closed because they built a big one in Marty Shkoni, which is about less than a quarter mile from Marty Shkoni. Marty Shkoni and Nur, they are next to each other, so they closed one because they built a big one. Actually, one of the biggest charity organization from Europe, they built them, we call it caravans, like a mobile home. So they built a bigger clinic for them. Shaklawa is also closed because it was in a big hall, and Mansour Rosemary, she is a doctor, she was taking care of a lot of patients there, about 300 some families in Shaklawa. Some of them lived in that hall, and she has a little partition that she made a clinic. All these families are been located in houses, and they are moved from Shaklawa. Now, we have 7 clinics plus Marty Shkoni and St. Joseph in Ankawa, Duhok, Suleimaniya, Al-Wash, Zakho, Kirkuk, and also we have Aradin, and we have Keznazan. Keznazan is the second clinic. It's between Ainkawa and Shaklawa. It's somehow related. Some of the health professionals that work in Martishmoni, they work in Kaznazan. And we kept supplying this clinic through the diocese and through the churches from here to there with the money. And they have a committee that, as I said earlier, to buy the medication and distribute it. Summary of January of 2016. This is actually the summary over, I will say, 7 or 8 months after we got established as how many patients they've been seeing. We have over 212 health professionals working. We are serving with this clinic about 1,000 patients a day, distributed between all these clinics. St. Joseph and Martishmoni, St. Joseph seen over 150 patients a day, Martishmoni seen over 300 patients a day. The Hope seen about 150 a day. Al-Qosh sees about 30 a day, but Al-Qosh have a mobile clinic that goes out to distribute the chronic medication for the chronic patients. Zaho have a small clinic through the church, but not too many patients there, but they're based on visiting the villages to see the chronic disease patient. Kirkuk actually is an existing clinic which has been opened by Dr. Ayad also since 2005, but we are supporting them. They open 1 day a week. They see about 50 to 70 patients, but they are existing clinic with a lab and echo. Suleymaniye, they have 2 churches that they open the clinic twice a week, plus mobile clinic to distribute the medication. Aradin, we supported them for 3 months, and then within the villages that Aradin are distributed the medication, they are included now mostly with Zaho and Al-Qosh. We hold regular meeting every 2 to 3 weeks among our staff. We communicate frequently, clinically. Actually, when I said frequently, almost every other day or every third day. Me and Dr. Nazir Bachuri, we're kind of on call every day. You know how the difference in hours and time, so we had phone calls mostly during the night. And we communicate with them every day. I told you, besides the visit that we did, I was there 3 times, Dr. Nazir went 1 time, and we have also another member, Rafid Yabdu, also he visited this clinic. A future vision, reach out to as many as we can, spreading the word, partnering with NGO. This is a new thing that we promise these people. Actually, they always, all these over 200 health professionals, they thank us for things. I should thank them and tell them how great job, because they are volunteer. Without them, the clinic won't exist too. And they are really doing a good job. When I go there, actually, I go there as a patient and I go there as a visitor. So I enter the clinic and see what they do, listen to their problems, and even enter as a patient to one of the doctors. Then I introduce myself and see what they do there, and they are still doing a great job. And we try to reach as many. Besides, we reach the American government and also to ask for grants to help us, to continue helping our people there. This is a long process. It's not ending in 1 year or 2 years or 5 years. This is a long process going to be there. Believe me, they are not 10,000, they are hundreds of thousands out there, and they are still suffering. So, I met with a few NGOs there. NGO is a charity organization that registered in Iraq that helped in everything. food, shelter, and everything. And we met them because in order to be approved and have some money from the American government, we have to be under the umbrella of one of these NGOs that registered in Iraq. I met with a few, and we're going to discuss, because we like to distribute our money the way it's distributed now. We don't want anybody to involve and change anything, because it's going very, 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 very well done, especially with the transparency that we have going. And we have documentation and all the transparency every month. So luckily, recently, one of the clinic that Mansour and Abuna Barnam, Mansour Diana, the one who visited America 6 months ago and met with Obama and made a big thing for our Christian north of Iraq, they in a process to be approved, and we heard that they got approved to be an NGO registered in Iraq. This will help a lot to submit the grant, and hopefully we got some money from the government to give to the people there. And we planned surgical mission to go at least for a couple surgeons, or even one surgeon, anesthesiologist, and a dentist to go there to help our Christian people for surgical procedures that they cannot afford. Some of them cost $1,000, some of them cost $5,000. We wanted to go there for a week, but we are contacting several Kurdish and organization and hospital to give us a room or a couple room in the hospital to work for 1 week. There, 50, 100 patients in that week we can do. But not yet. In the process, the Chaldean community there, with the help of certain organizations, they are building a hospital, and hopefully through there we can do our mission, hopefully in 6 months. And we are also reaching also for the doctors who will want to be in a mission, in a regular mission or a surgical mission. They are more than welcome. It's a lot of challenge. We are doctors and we try to reach people in any way. So we are having a lot of challenges these days and keep supporting DC Clinic, and we will continue supporting DC Clinic. The Diocese of Detroit is adopted for refugee, and a lot of organization we try to reach in order to help. I told you, the grant is going to be able to help. The clinic working and growing, but certainly needed more support. And the gaps to fill, emergency and inpatient, are that MERCI has not been involved in yet. Before I said that, also, I have to mention Dr. Samir Jinnah, he is one of the doctors here in California. He helped a lot. We have a very selected cases, a heart surgery. It's a lot of kids there that they need for surgery and medical attention. But there are a lot, and we try to help as much as we can. With a few selected cases that with Doctors Without Borders or Without Borders organization, they help a lot with a lot of money, and not even money, a lot with surgical mission. From Europe and from America that goes there and did the surgeries in Jordan, and we have also a few kids that have been sent to Turkey and to Iran to also for another surgery for a tumor, brain tumor, and leukemia, renal failure for renal transplant, and also for heart surgery, and a couple other few as an emergency medicine, emergency surgeries that have been done with the help of Dr. Samir Jinnah and his communication over there. And prayers and donation are very much needed. We appreciate everything to support our community there. And I told you, it's not a process of a few days or a few months or a few years. It's a long process, and they are in need to. Probably I have. This is also from, it's in Arabic, from the Matraniya or diocese in Kirkuk that appreciate our work, that for the help of Suleymaniya and Kirkuk, that they keep their clinic going. I have some of the pictures that I'm going to show you. Thank you very much. Let me show you a few of the pictures. This was been a small clinic inside the church. The organization this is the logos for other organizations that help in this building. We are helping and supporting the patient with their medication. This is their pharmacy. So this is the clinic. It's this is the clinic in Al-Qash. This is how they start the clinic in Idhok. This is where Dr. Ayad started to work. And this is clinic. Then it changed. This is how they supply them with the medication. I'm gonna maybe, this is some of the medication that they buy. And this is also the transparencies that we have been going. This is all Al-Qash. I'm going to stop in here and we can carry on this picture that I can see. I'm going to have the microphone to Dr. Ayad to continue, then I'll go back if you have any questions. Thank you.
We'll be doing the questions and answer after Dr. Ayad's presentation. Thank you so much, Dr. Juwaida. Very informative. Our next speaker is Dr. Ayad Georgis Marcos. He graduated from University of Basra College of Medicine. He has a diplomate in public health. Him and his wife, also a physician, founded one of MERCI clinics, MERCI Medical Center in The Hague. Please join me to welcome Dr. Ayad Georgis Marcos.
مساء الخير. ما ادري كل يتكلم عربي لو يحتاج ترجمه انجليزي. اوكي اعتقد كلهم ما عدا الدكتور جون وانا ترجم بالبدايه بصراحه اريد اقدم شكري لمنظمه ميرسي اللي استضافوني في سانتياغو. انا جاي في زياره خاصه وطرحوا انه فكره هذا الميتنج وطلبوا استضافتي فبديت طبعا من طبعا. بدايه كلامي احب ان اوضح الجانب الاجتماعي من عمليه النزوح اللي صارت في مناطق الموصل بالذات في العراق والموصل. النزوح تم على مرحلتين. المرحلة الأولى هي المرحلة الفجائية اللي تمت من الموصل. جماعة الموصل المسيحيين واليزيدية كلهم بدون سابق انذار دخل داعش، انسحب الجيش، طلعوهم كل المسيحيين بدون مصروفاتهم الذهبية، بدون فلوسهم، بدون سياراتهم، بدون أي شيء، ملابسهم. وأنا شاهد على هذا الشيء انه استقبلتهم مناطق برديده، بقول كربليس، تركيف، بطنايه، الاسقف، الفوش، استقبلت النازحين من الموصل. طبعا كان الوضع مساوي جدا. تبعه وضع اخر، دخول وانسحاب القوات العسكريه من مناطق سهلينو اللي هي المناطق اللي ذكرتها. وين توجهوا المسيحيين اليزيديين الموجودين في هذه المناطق؟ توجهوا الى كردستان. احنا بالنسبه لنا كان توجهنا الى مناطق دوهر والقرى المحيطه بها. الحقيقة أغلب النازحين تركوا أموالهم كلهم في مناطقهم، ما عدا المناطق القرى الكيف وهاي قدروا يجيبون اللي يقدرون يحملوه في سياراتهم الشخصية. كان وضع مأساوي في دهوك، الناس عايشة قسم تركوهم تحت الأشجار تحت الجسور. للأسف كان عندي صور وما قدرت أجيبها، صور لوضعهم المأساوي. الفنادق قبضت الكنائس، قبضت المراكز الاجتماعية كلها، النوادي كلها امتلت بالنازحين. القرى استقبلت كثير، قرى كثيرة من زافو إلى سميل إلى منقش إلى باختمي، القرى المحيطة كلها استقبلت النازحين. سرسين كثير قرى النازحين استقبلوا، بس الطاقة الاستيعابية ما كانت تتحمل هذا العدد الكبير. بصراحة كان الوضع يعني أي شخص مهما كان ما يقدر يتحمل هذا الشيء. بدأت الفكرة أنا كطبيب شو أقدر أسوي؟ طلبت من عدة كنائس أنه نلقى لي مكان كعيادة خيرية. قسم كنائس رفض، وافق الخوري فيليب من الكنيسة الآشورية أن يعطينا مكتبه الخاص. يمكن الغرفة هي هاي غرفة صغيرة بدينا بها أنا والدكتورة غادة زوجتي ومتطوع أحد المتطوعين الشباب. بدينا نشتغل معتمدين على انه عمليه النزوح سوف تستمر فتره قليله، ربما شهر شهرين ثلاثه ونرجع لمناطقنا. جبت الاغراض اللي كانت موجوده بعيادتي الخاصه خليتها من سولر اجهزه ضغط، اشياء بسيطه، وزرت رئيس صحه دهوك زودني بوجبه من الادويه، وجا سيدنا الفطرك زارنا في وقتها، وايضا تبرع بمبلغ $10,000. قدرنا نشتري بعض الأدوية البسيطة لعالج المرضى. استمرت هاي العملية في هاي الغرفة الصغيرة 5 أشهر، واحد من المتطوعين 2 اجانا صيدلي بعدين وصيدلي آخر فقط، ماكو عندنا متطوعين، لأن كان ظرف المعاش حتى على الأطباء صعب جدا. رواتب ما كانت في البداية، غلاء الإيجار اللي كان $200 صار $1000 أو أكثر، وإلى آخره. المهم بدينا بالعمل. كان الغاية في البداية إنه نعالج كأطباء وممكن نكتب وصفات خارجية، وجدنا إنه إحنا ما راح نسوي شيء هذا الشيء. بعدين خبرني الدكتور بسام صديقي من البصرة وعرض عليه مساعدة من منظمة المرسي. أول مساعدة جت من منظمة المرسي هي عبارة عن مجموعة من أدوية الأمراض المزمنة. بدينا نمشي المرضى بسجلات بسيطة، سجل نكتب اسم المريض ونعطيه علاج، ما في شيء. جت البعثة البعثوية طلبت انه شو تقدر تقدم لنا؟ طلبنا انه مكان اكبر من هذا، لانه عدد المرضى يوصل الى 100 مريض يوميا او 70 الى 100 مريض يوميا. ما نقدر نشوفهم في هاي الغرفة، واحنا فقط اطباء 2. قرروا انه يبنون كرفان يتكون من 11 غرفه. طوعوا مجموعه من الاطباء، زاد عدد الاطباء الى 16 طبيب من مختلف الاختصاصات، جميعهم اخصائيين، اخصائي قلبيه، انف وحنجره، اطفال، نسائيه، فاميلي ميديسين، وايضا طوعوا صيادله وطبيبه سولر، اشعه سولر، وطبيب عيون معهم، وطبيب أسنان. بدأت المساعدات تجينا من ميرسي. بدأنا بعملية تنظيمية، إنه سوينا دفتر أمراض مزمنة. هذا الدفتر أمراض مزمنة ما أدري موجود، دكتور بسام نموذج منه ولا لا؟ أوكي. دفتر أمراض مزمنة، يجي المريض في البقعة الجغرافية الخاصة بنا هي دهوك والقرى المحيطة بها اللي هي باختمي، سميل، يعني القرى القريبة. عندنا قاعدة بيانات من النازح الحقيقي، مو النازح قبل 4 سنين 5 قبل أكثر، النازح الجاي جديد. نسجل أسماء النازحين وقلنا الأمراض المزمنة وعرضناهم على أطباء اختصاص، وقرروا العلاج وسجل ودخل اسمائهم في الكمبيوتر. هذا المريض يجي شهريا يستلم علاجه بالأدنى. من يجي اذا ما عنده في التغييرات في حالته المرضيه ياخذ العلاج ماله ويروح. اذا عنده في الاشكالات يعرض على طبيب المختص هو يغير العلاج. بالاضافه الى وجود مختبر، هذا المختبر بصراحه اجهزه ما حصلنا على اجهزه جيده تقوم باكثر الفحوصات. ما ادري اذا جبت ما موجود الدكتور بسام اسماء الفحوصات اللي يقدمها للعيان. على كل حال اي المريض يجي يسجل بالاستعلامات اسمه، يشوفه نازح صحيح او لا، يدخل على الطبيب، ياخذ الطبيب يقرر اذا يسوي له سونار او يحتاج الى فحوصات مختبريه او يحتاج الى علاج. طبعا جميع الادويه وجميع المتطوعين هناك يقدمون خدمات مجانا، يعني المريض يجي ياخذ الشيء اللي يريده من علاج ومن فحوصات ومن اي شيء كان جميعها مجانا. جميع المتطوعين عندنا 32 متطوع في دهوك كلهم يقدمون خدماتهم مجانا. الحقيقه الممول الوحيد تقريبا 99% من الادويه اللي تجينا ونستخدمها للمرضى هي من منظمه ميرسي. صار فتره من الفترات شويه بخلوا علينا ميرسي ما دزونا فلوس كامله، صار عندنا خلل بالادويه. كثير من الامراض المزمنه كنا نرجعهم يعني المرضى، ما عندنا كميه كافيه من الاموال انهم نشتريهم بدون. هذا نموذج من قبلها كان نموذج من السجل الموجود. الاموال شلون تجي؟ تجي عن طريق حساب مصرفي عندنا في دهوك. الحساب المصرفي ما موجود اسمي به، موجود اسم القس الكاهن الكنيسه وبه اسماء 2 من العلمانيين، هم يستلمون الفلوس. الفلوس تكون يمهم، منو يصرفها؟ يصرفها لجنه اخرى من صيدلي محاسب وشخص اخر معهم يطلعون يشترون ادويه، يشترون الادوات المختبريه اللي نريدها ويجيبوها، تدقق باللجنه الاخرى في المركز وتبعث الوصولات جميعها الى المركز بعث المرض اللي هي ميرسي. حقيقه عدد المراجعين مالتنا يتراوح بين 120 الى 150 مراجع. عدد الامراض الاشخاص اللي يستلمون علاجهم بالامراض المزمنه هو 826 مريض شهريا ياخذون دواءهم من الأدوية. هناك كثير من الافكار لتطوير هذه العياده. حقيقه هذا يعتمد على ما يصلنا من مبالغ. كل فلس او كل دولار كل دولار يجينا من هاي المنظمه لا تصل بكل شفافيه الى المريض. كثير من المرضى، احد المرضى اجى قال لي دكتور انت ما انطيتني فلوس الدواء بس، انت وفرت لي $150 شهريا انطي اشتري بيها، بدل ما اشتري دواء اللي وزوجتي اشتري بيها ملابس او اكل اطفالي. فاحنا قدرنا نخدم المريض من ناحيه صحيه، وايضا خدمنا المريض من الناحيه المعيشيه اللي هو وفر المبالغ اللي يراجع بها المريض للطبيب ويحتاج فحوصات، يحتاج مختبر ويحتاج علاج. بصراحه ما اريد اكثر من الحكي، بس اذا عندكم اي سؤال او اي شيء استفسار انا حاضر الاجابه عليه. وشكرا جزيلا للدكتور سلام والدكتور جون والدكتور فراج اللي حقيقه فرحونا في ان يجمعونا ونلتقي بكم. قسم اعرفهم، قسم ما ملتقي بهم من زمان، وقسم الشرف ان تعرفت عليهم. شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you so much. Very informative, very helpful. I know it was only in Arabic, and I hope most people here understood that, but briefly, these clinics have established out of nothing. These were all individual efforts by physicians there. They're all volunteers, and they needed the support, and the support came from nowhere. They knocked on many doors, and nobody opened. Very few people did, and only because of the great work of MERCI that they were able to maintain these clinics. This is the first question I asked Dr. Ayad when I first met him, is what would you do if the support of MERCI stops for any reason? And he really said the clinic will shut down. And he gave me an example. He said 1 month there was a delay in transferring money. And how many patients did you have? He said they actually could not get their medications and actually passed away. 40? Yeah. كم مريض توفى عدم وصول الأدوية؟
هو صارت الحالة عفوا الحالة صارت انه بفترة بداية فتح العيادة الخيرية سجلت عندي إحصائية بوفاة 40 شخص من المناطق اللي نسحوا من سالمين والموصل. 40 حالة وفاة صارت. واتصلت بالدكتور بسام قلت له رجاء ادعمونا اهتموا بالموضوع لأنه الوضع عندنا ربما سيكولوجيكلي أيضا لها تأثير، بس أيضا أنه المريض من يجي هنا ياخذ له في الدواء تشيب وما يستفاد من عنده. فشوف أغلبهم CVA يعني أمراض الدايابيتس وهاي الشغلات، فكثيرين من عندهم هذا السبب توفوا.
So, I thought I was informed, and by reading and looking into things, and I always thought that even though they're refugees, they probably do have other resources, and they were able to go to government hospitals or other agencies. And it turned out this is not true. This will cost them a lot of money, and they actually are treated as second-class citizens. When I asked Dr. Ayad about what options they have, and they really don't have other options. Like he said, a single prescription medication can cost them up to $150 a month just for one medication. So they're very happy with these clinics, and they're doing a great job. And with that, I'd like to open the floor for any questions if you guys have for either Dr. Ayad or Dr. Juwaida. Yes, Dr. Razouki. I'm sorry, I don't think I can.
I don't know if there's any تمويل من الحكومة المركزية أو حكومة كردستان أو الناس المحليين اللي يقدروا يساعدون.
Everybody understand the question? If there is any support from government agencies, especially the Kurdish government?
التمويل الوحيد اللي جانا هو من دائرة صحة دهوك بأدوية. لا أجت أكثر من مرة، بس أدوية بسيطة هي تفيد الأمراض البسيطة مو الأمراض المزمنة. يعني كان نجسك و something like that. يعني مو الأدوية اللي يحتاجها، يعني المريض يحتاج أكثر من هذا الشيء. بالحقيقة التمويل من دائرة صحة دهوك تمويل بسيط ولفترة محددة ما مستمر على هذا الشيء. وتمويل واحد جتنا من الكنيسة من قبل البطرك $10,000، والحكومة ما لها أي دور. للأسف زارنا رئيس مجلس محافظة نينوى وزارونا الأحزاب وزارونا ووعدونا وحكوا كثير nothing. يعني رئيس مجلس محافظة نينوى ومسؤول عن كلامي اجى تقابلنا بشار الكيكي، ما ادري اذا تعرفون صار او لا، قال ايش تحتاج انت؟ قلت له احتاج لي تمشي لي في الشاشه. قال لا 3 اشهر راح ادز لك ادويه. ايش قد تحتاج المبلغ؟ قلت له راح ادز لك الادويه وانت اشتريها تحصلها من الدوله من بغداد من اي مكان، او تعطي المبلغ ما في مشكله، بس المهم تعطيه قال راح ادز لك مكان شهر 3 اشهر، 3 اشهر بعدها هاي صار له سنه. شكرا.
So he did not receive anything at bottom line.
Believe me, we tried everything to do. We reached, as he said, we reached also to the Kurdish government, even through some different, we had a lot of email, even we reached to Ayad. We sent them an email. We tried to reach the government in Baghdad, and through Dr. Ayad also she helped us in there that we send the email and nothing. We tried medication from the United States. There's a lot of pharmacists we know in our committee, and they try to reach the pharmaceutical company, and they have a lot of donations that near expired medication or some medication that they have extra to send up to $200,000, but they won't let the Kurdish government, they won't let anything. Everything stopped at the airport, and they won't let nothing to go and distribute it. We tried other option to get some cheap medication from somewhere else, from India. We tried $1,000. Just tried. They send it, we bought it from India, they sent it to Kurdistan, Erbil, and they stopped it there. So we saw that this is an emergent thing. It's like, مثل ما يقول بالعربي إن شاء الله عنية. We have to act right away. People, they need the medication. The only way we saw is the money. We send it to them, and believe me, nobody will accept money. The first one is him and other doctors. Ayad, can I send you the money? I said, don't even send it to me. There's the police, there's this committee. We have a committee that they have received the money, and don't send it in my name or anybody else.
Yes.
معروف انه كردستان ما يساعدون ودا نعرف الشيء اللي يصير. تم الاتصال بالسفارات والقنصليات الموجوده هناك، انا دا اسمع سواء في عمان، في لبنان، في تركيا، المسيحيين هناك خاصه اللي عندهم هيك منظمات انسانيه يتصلون بالقنصليات، ويعني القنصليات يمكن تستجيب ولا ترحم اكثر من السياسيين والمسؤولين الموجودين هناك.
حقيقة أنا ما سامع أنه عيادة خيرية أو مركز صحي أو أي اتصلنا بأي قنصلية أو سفارة. احنا نتصل بالمنظمات. المنظمات عملية أكو هناك عملية منظمة معهم. يعني عندنا عدة منظمات تقدم أيضا خدمات طبية بس مفصولة عنها. احنا عندنا قاعدة بيانات نعرف المنظمة هاي تطلع إلى منطقة مثل العمادية، احنا ما نطلع لها هناك. احنا نخدم المنطقة اللي ما حد يخدمها. أما المساعدات اللي تجينا من القنصليات والسفارات ما اتصلنا بها وما موجود هيك مشروع، وما أعتقد أنه راح يستجيبون هذا الشيء.
المحاولة يعني أنت محتاج كل شيء هناك، يعني لو أكو عفوا حضرتك كطبيب وإذا أكو لجنة أطباء من تروح إلى سفارة وإلى قنصلية لابد أكو جهة معينة، مسألة إنسانية، الدول بدها تساعد. أنا برأيي يعني
اسمح لي دكتور، احنا رحنا المؤسسات الحكومية العراقية طلبنا مساعدتها، رحت للمحافظة ورحت للأسواق. شنو اللي قالوا لنا؟ حولونا على منظمات. أيضا السفارة إذا تروح عليها ما راح تقول لك يا ريال، راح تقول لك أوكي راح ندز لك منظمات تجي عليك وشوف. فما راح تقدم لنا.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you very much for the great work that you've been doing. But I'd like to, as a refugee myself, that I was in '91 in the mountains in Turkey, and I saw the misery that people go through when there is no medical help. 3,000 people died in '91, and I was working in one of those hospitals to help them. I got a couple of proposals. If we want to take this to a next stage, which is really going to be something that we all going to support, and we're going to see fruits in a very short time, is to form a committee in some dioceses that we can reach, a committee from 5 or 6 people that will be taking responsibility of 2 things. Number 1 is to collecting donations in the front of the door of the church after Mass. And this committee will establish an account, a special account for MERCI, and all the donations will be put in that account, and they will be in a direct contact with MERCI in Iraq, the people that is responsible for distributing the funds to the needy or the different clinics that you have. So forming the committee out of 5 or 6 people in each diocese. We don't have to be only in the United States. We have friends in Australia that we can talk to. We can visit as many as dioceses. We can establish all these committees, 5, 6 people, and get the money, and also form people that professionally can dialogue and deal with local agencies that support refugees. And this is going to be for medical purpose only. So for us, we have two things. I believe if we're going to propose that, that's going to take us to the next stage, is collecting donations in each diocese, especially for the medical need. And also, this committee will be given the responsibility of reaching local agencies that can help refugees. And again, we thank you very much for all the great work that you do.
No, thank you. We're definitely a work in progress. We're just starting now. Our committee is basically just us. We really haven't even formally formed a committee. You're more than welcome to join it. Anybody here in this room is more than welcome to join the committee. We actually need a lot of help for future events. Great thoughts, and we'll take every single consideration to
We
every...
can also update every month. The committee
Absolutely.
will be responsible to inform the diocese, like giving a couple minutes in the mass,
Sure,
informing us of how the work is going and what the donations are, you know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're on the same page. Dr. Arabo.
Yeah, and to get to the bottom of our talk today, how we can help.
This is the point where actually this is the best segue for Dr. Kasawa's speech.
Hello, everybody. It's really great to see all of you. It's very heartwarming. And what a beautiful blessing that we got from Sayyidina. That was almost made me cry. And really special thanks to our two visiting speakers, one from Michigan, one all the way from Iraq. I think we should give them another hand up, a hand. So I hope you were as enriched as much as I was with the presentation, and really special thanks again to Dr. Ayad for working in the trenches, and for all the Chaldean doctors there that are working day in and day out and serving this very difficult population. So some questions I want to ask you. Show of hands, how many of you are hearing about the ongoing situation in Iraq and the Middle East on Facebook, media? Just show of hands. Okay. And show of hands, how many of you knew, want to help? Okay. And then, how many of you knew before today that how to help directly? Nobody. See, this is a problem with the Adopt a Refugee Family that we are doing, and even with this program. So just the fact that you are all here means that you are compassionate and the Good Samaritan. And you have not forgotten our persecuted brothers and sisters. Update, on February 4th, just 2 weeks ago, the European Parliament finally declared this is a genocide. Duh, right? Meets every definition of genocide. It's basically an ethnic cleansing, and it's one of the oldest civilizations, if not the oldest civilizations in mankind. For the past year, most of you know, we've been doing the Adopt a Refugee Family program under Hope for Iraqi Christians, which is an Edith Columbus program, and I'm a proud member to be a Knight. And we're working in conjunction with the Michigan Adopt a Refugee Family program, where we pair up a refugee family with a donor here in the U.S., and you have direct communication. To keep transparency, you get a family folder, and you can call them, email the refugee family. And also for transparency, we started to get monthly donors a signed receipt from the refugee family every month when they get the money, and then that gets emailed to you. So people ask me why I'm passionate about the topic, even though I was born in America and I never even visited the Middle East. First, it's a humanitarian problem, right? It's a genocide. And second, it is very close to home. Father Michael Buzzy, he really instilled in me when I moved to San Diego who we are, the native people of Iraq, Mesopotamia. We are the cradle of civilization. St. Thomas was one of the 12 apostles, and he came to our people first to spread Christianity. These refugees are lying true heroes, and not one of them renounced their Christian faith, and they all left everything behind and fled. So how to help? That's the question. Some people have time, others have money, Some people have prayers, some have all three. Just being here in America, and especially in San Diego, we've all been blessed. Just being in this country is a blessing, and to give of our time, our money, our prayers is simply a way of giving back. So for time, if you have time, you can contact one of the Knight of Columbus or contact one of us. We always have need to have more volunteers, and we thank the volunteers here tonight that work before the event, during the event, and after. Also, we need more medical professionals to be on the MERCI medical board. As you know, MERCI is newly launched in California tonight, and we hope to have 10 to 12 medical doctors, but even other business members to help evaluate cases and help. So for example, say somebody needs an urgent appendectomy, take their gallbladder out. I mean, the list is literally hundreds of medical conditions that we can evaluate, and then we can send money over there. Okay, so say you have a lot of money, or not too much money. We have the $1 a day program, the $100 a month. We have so many different options, similar to the Adopt a Refugee Family program. And we'd like to remind you that the nights we raised, remember, it was a beautiful night, over $600,000. And we got an award for that. I don't know if you guys know, from the Knight of Columbus, the national, the Supreme Knight, it was the national convention, gave it to our Knights Council. Brother Kamal received that award. So we get recognized, and we also like to remind you that bills don't go away though after one big check. I mean, that was an amazing event that we did. But, do your bills go away after one night or one? It's recurring. That's why we're asking for recurring donations. So in general, we're very generous people. We are also one of the most skeptical, as I found out trying to promote this program. But to be honest, we should be skeptical. Even the Red Cross has tons of scandals with their donation money. Everyone feels so good when your money goes to the right place, but you feel equally as bad when your money is not going to the right place. So I hope today, hearing the presentations, you're more comfortable knowing where your money is going. Our promise is the same to you with this program as with Adopt a Refugee, that 100% of your money goes directly to the refugees, 100% transparency, and 100% tax deductible. We are a 501c3 organization. Okay, so we know some of you couldn't make it tonight. Some people couldn't make it. We're all very busy. But take a contribution form, take a text of it, use technology, send it to your family, your friends, your colleagues. You can all go online. You can drop it off at the table in the back. Do it directly online, whatever you like. Some like to prepay for the whole year. Some like to pay by check, credit card, cash. Some like to see their monthly donations. That's what I like to see, month after month, be deducted from my bank account or credit card statements. Whatever you like, we can accommodate that, and it's all tax deductible. You're going to get a receipt. Okay, so in closing, we all have a moral obligation to help, and it's even a biblical obligation. Matthew 25 says, the people are asking the king, when did we see you hungry, sick, or in prison? The king, Jesus, will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. And finally, I would also like to remind that as Christians, we don't hate, we love everybody, even ISIS, but we can fight. And Jesus said in Matthew 5, but I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. But we are also called to help and do good works. And the clinics, they help not only the Christians, but they also help all the minorities, the Yazidis, even the refugees that are Muslim. I mean, it's a doctor oath that we take. We have to help everybody with no ethnic or religious discrimination. And, but the true reality is, when these refugees, many of them are professionals, business people, just like you and I. Imagine you had 48 hours to leave all your bank accounts, your businesses, your cars, your homes, your jewelry behind, just the clothes on your back. You go to the next city, and you're a refugee now, internally displaced. The clinics will discriminate against the Christians. And that's why these medical clinics started. And these Chaldean doctors are helping the Christians, but of course everybody else that comes in, but majority Christian. So the world, the government, the media, they've all been so silent on this topic, on this genocide, for 2 years. So it's really clear to us to help and to do our part. San Diego needs to do our part. And I do agree with the gentleman back there. If we do need other dioceses across, like Arizona, Las Vegas, Chicago, to also do what we're doing to make an extension of MERCIs all over the U.S. Okay, so I'm never one to ask for donations, but for this particular topic, I really believe the money is going the right place. And I have no shame asking you for donations, but of course it's not obligation. At least pray and or give up your time. So really, God bless you all for being here. Thank you on behalf of our Christian, persecuted brothers and sisters, and may they find peace here really soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As you have noticed that we have forms passed around. Please take one extra form for a friend or family, spread the word. Again, go to the website, read more about it, and share the information. I see the gentleman, you have a question,
Yeah.
Mr. Sinto?
When you
Go ahead.
I can speak Arabic or English, whatever you like. حقيقة دكتور إياد ولا دكتور سمير أنا حاب يمكن أنت راح تجاوب أكثر. حسب ما سمعنا من عندكم كأنه ماكو أني هيلث بروفيشنال هناك تقدم مساعدات، يعني ماكو بعد ما لا مستشفيات ولا مستوصفات حسب ما نشوف. زين وين دور الحكومة والمستشفيات والمستوصفات؟ بالمناسبة أنا كمعاون طبيب كنت مخلص سليمانية، مشتغل بمستشفى سليمانية وبعدين الفلوجة وبعدين بلد، فعندي اطلاع كل زين. هاي من زمان 35 سنة أنا بالصحة وبأمريكا anyway. فالسؤال هو وين صارت هالمستوصفات وهالمستشفيات ووين دور الحكومة؟ هاي وحدة بعدين. زين بالنسبة للجراحة اللي يحتاج جراحة مثلا تدزوا الأردن والتركي هذول راح يحتاجون فلوس هواية. مساعداتكم مو كلش هواية، شلون راح تكفون هاي الأخت؟ عندكم المختبر، حسب المختبر بيسك هو لو هم في مثلا هيماتولوجي، بكتيريولوجي اند كيمستري، عندكم هذا الشيء؟ اوكي كل زين. الاكس راي عندكم ماكو اكس راي، الترا ساوند اوكي. هي الاكس راي ابسط من كلهم حقيقه، من يجي واحد عنده كسر لازم يكون عندك فد يعني anyway. اخر شيء اللي احب ابين هنا، ليش انتم ايش قد راح تساعدون المسيحيين اذا تاخذون اسلام وغير اسلام؟ حقيقه الفند مالتكم هو ايش قد حتى تمضون لكل العالم، مو هذه المشكله هنا. تفضل. تفضل. ثانك يو.
أجاوبك على السؤال الأول اللي قلته. الناس اللي نسحت هي مئات الآلاف وليس 1000 و2000 و200. بالإنجليزي وبالعربي. The people who are displaced is hundreds of thousands. So, for example, Ankawa itself is all the Christians, the Christian community, and our aim is to help the Christian in there, and those who are displaced. And Ankawa itself, 30 to 35,000. They came to Ankawa over 40,000 people, just to Ankawa. Imagine in Erbil and the rest. So about between 70,000 to 80,000 in Erbil total with Ankawa, plus another 70,000 in Dubai. This is full all the people. Say 10% of those are, like 10,000 of them, they are chronic diseases. They cannot go to this hospital. The hospitals are full with other patients for regular diseases like infection, regular infection. Those chronic diseases, they need monthly medication. So it really reached to the point that it needs some clinic to be those. On top of this, they started it in a camps. When they came to the camp, they started the camp. So they registered already in the camps. These people, they are get in the camps, and they've been treated from the camp, then it developed to being a big clinic. So this is one of the reasons. The second question you said about the surgery. These are very selective, and we didn't pay for it. This is some other charity organization from Europe, that group of doctors, and some of them from Pennsylvania, that they went there, group of doctors, and they do surgery, not for us, for everyone from all over the world. So they have them, some of them, they go to Jordan, sometimes they go to, for example, Italy, some of them, wherever there. So these are the people who are being treated for free. Very few selected cases that they need $1,000 or $2,000, and not even 5 or 6 cases. Believe it or not, we refuse a lot of elective cases. Elective cases means like the cases who are not an emergency. So we refuse a lot of it because we rather treat 500 patients rather than do one who have tashawwuh, another like a handicap, he need a redo for his fracture to be redone again. So we are, believe it or not, we are very, very selective in doing as much as we can. Some of the clinic, they reach to the point 2,000 patients a month. They come in for them for chronic disease. They came, there are more patients came in, but they cannot accept it. They tell them to go. Even though, so we started also a program that they have a card with a picture, name, and medication. And if they change the medication, they refuse this, they stop this medication, they start another medication. So he doesn't have to take 2 medications. And that's one of the clinics that they have.
سؤال مهم وصحيح، بس انت داومت في المؤسسات الحكوميه بالعراق. هو سابقا وكان الوضع مسيطر عليه، كان اكو شحه في الادويه، شحه في التعامل مع الفحوصات، كان اكو بعض الشحه. حاليا دهوك اللي صار عندها شغل، دهوك استقبلت ضعف عدد سكان. وهو اصلا عندهم شحه. بالاضافه الى انه جت الضائقه الماليه اللي تمر بها كردستان. هذا سبب. السبب الاخر، انا مسيحي احكي اللغه السريانيه او احكي اللغه العربيه، ما اعرف كردي. اروح للمستشفيات الكرديه، اما هو ما يعرف عربي يحكي وياه كردي، او يسوي نفسه ما يعرف عربي يحكي وياه كردي، لاسباب نفسيه لاسباب يعني ربما نعطيهم الحق به. شيء اخر، احنا بالنسبه لنا ما ممكن نرجع مريض نساله انت مسلم ولا يزيدي ولا مسيحي. المريض هو مريض. فلازم احنا نستقبل كل المواطنين. بس حاليا احنا عدد الامراض المزمنه 826 وقفنا او قدمنا صرف لتمويل اقل مما احنا ندرسه اول. لو فتحنا الباب اكثر راح تحتاج الى اضعاف هاي الاعداد. شيء اخر، المرضى في الهوك عندهم دفتر امراض مزمنه خاصين بيهم، اللي سكن الدهوك، اللي بطاقته التمويليه هي دهوك. اللي اجى من سهل لنا ومن الموصل اصلا كان ياخذ ادويه الامراض المزمنه ببطاقه الامراض المزمنه التابعه الى دار الصحتين. ما بقت عندنا دار الصحتين، لين ياخذ الدواء ابو دهوك يقول لك انا هذا بدل جماعتي ما اعطيك لك. فهنا وجدت حاجه. اما حقيقه احنا المشروع مالنا هذا ربما هسه احنا ناسخين من القران، بس احب اعطيكم معلومه بين القران ما بقت قران. انا اصلا من كركوك، انا اصلا دكتور اصبت يعرفني، انا من كركوك، سويت العياده الخيريه ب 2004 في كركوك مع سيدنا بالساكو. في وقتها نزحت نتيجه ظروف إلى النسقف قران ما بقت قران. تركيب منو من تركيب؟ يا ريت اذا اكو واحد عندكم في تركيب، عندكم واحد قرايب داعش في تركيب، خلي يجيب لكم صوره على بيوتكم هناك. انا ما يعني احط من معنوياتكم او هذا، بس اغلب البيوت المسيحيه اما تفجرت او انذهبت او هم تنمو. يعني من راح تتحول المناطق بديده وبعشيقه وبطايه اللي هي بطايه يا الله يجي لنا فدها فوقها فجرها. تركيب كذلك ما بقت بيوت، وين راح يرجعوا الناس؟ فهذا المشروع يا دكتور بسام، دكتور جان، دكتور رضا، هذا المشروع هو مو ضروري مشروع، أرجو ما يكون مشروع لفترة محددة إلى أن ينتهي النزوح وانتهى داعش. أرجو أن يمتد إلى أن تستقر الأوضاع في البلد، لأن أغلبهم الناس وين راح يرجعوا؟ وين أرجع إذا بيتي مهدوم؟ ما بقى لي كل شيء، وين أرجع؟ على الأقل هنا في كردستان أنا أمشي هذا الجمهور وأعطي شيء. شكرا.
ايضا هم المساعدات اللي وصلت بالبدايه وصلت الى مساعدات للاكل والشرطه، ولا يعني سمعنا خلال هذه الفتره انه the supplies for food and shelters, a lot of people there, they got everything, and thank God they are living okay so far. So no, we didn't hear nobody died from hunger, nobody died from cold or anything, but the need for health and treatment and the support for them all the time. And as Dr. said, this is not a process of a month or two, it's a long process.
دكتور العفو قلت قبل شوي بأنه you treat about 70 to 80 patients a day in Kirkuk. We only open 1 day a week. Why you open 1 day a week? Is financial problem, and then how can you catch up with 70, 80 people? What, with 5 minutes each person or how?
It's a busy thing. It's a busy clinic. The thing, we don't have anybody to take them there. Everybody is volunteer, and that's the only day that they can work in there. And we try to open up on other days. There is no. And Dr. Ayad, who's the one who started this clinic in 2004, he knows. He said, he just told me that there's only one person in the state since he knows until now, which is a bacteriologist. Her name is Dina. She's running the clinic, and they hire volunteers. They don't pay them. Every week they have a specialist, an eye specialist, ENT specialist, ophthalmologist, and general practitioners. Every week he comes and do it. They don't have time to do it the other week. They don't have volunteers. And as I said, we don't pay them. Nobody's paying them. They're all volunteers. And we thank them actually they thank us for sending them the money. I told them the opposite, I should thank you because without them, the clinic will close. I thank you again for Dr. John, Dr. Salam Tuma. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you for coming in here and for the support. I will take this message to my colleague there, and if I go there, I'll tell them that a lot of people are thinking of you. All our colleagues and all our relatives, all our brothers and sisters are thinking of you over there in Iraq. Thanks again. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you all for coming. These guys stick around. There's will be a lot of appetizers and more drinks there. People who want to stay are more than welcome to stay. Please turn in the forms you filled out to the Ladies of Hope in the back. Like I said, take an extra form for a friend or family member. Feel free to join us for more appetizers and drinks. Thanks again for coming.